everyone, thank you for joining me today. I am showing you the February Kiwi Club kit called Love Notes. Included in every kit, you'll get a QR code and you will get a link. So in case you can't use the QR code, you can just log on to your internet and check out the different PDF ideas that you can, how to use the kit. They have some beautiful layouts and different ways of using the kits every month. So in this kit, you get 3x4 cards, 4x6 cards. This month they included alphas, which look like typewriter keys. You get some templates, and you get your papers. So I'm just going to tell you what the templates are that you receive. You will see them shortly. You get the Love Struck a la carte, which is the arrow. You get an a la carte mailbox, and you get an a la carte curly. I'm going to speed up the video for your pleasure and so that you're not hearing me ramble and ramble. But before I do that, I just want to mention that the kits cost $25 plus shipping, and you will definitely not be disappointed. I love every kit I get every month. The paper quality is amazing, and I think that if you check them out, you would love it too. Hang on one second while I speed this up. So while you're watching, these cards, actually I forgot that there's also, I believe that's 4x4 cards. You can use them with Project Lifestyle scrapbooking. You can use them to mat your pictures. You will see me use a couple of them in my layout after I show you the kit. I think that you can basically do, I'm not even sure, maybe 3 to 4 layouts, double 2-page layouts with one kit if you want to use everything up. I haven't completely finished using this kit. This was the first layout that I made. So I have still quite a few papers left, and I can't wait to bring you the next video. So I've gotten questions of what the paper weight is. I'm not 100% sure if it's 100 pounds, but it's definitely near that. Definitely at least 80. So in my layout, I will be using the hearts, which are the a la carte heart to heart. That's my picture, and I also will use the mailbox and papers from the February kit. So I will be using Marshmallow White paper by Basil, which is a great paper to use if you're doing any type of mixed media. Here I'm using clear gesso, and I will be spreading it on with just a regular brush. And I chose the clear because the paper's white, so I figured it doesn't need to be the white gesso. Clear works for me. The reason why I'm doing the clear gesso is so that the mixed media will stay on top of the paper instead of soaking through the paper. So it helps with the stability of the paper, and it won't make it fall apart. So I'm setting it aside to dry, and in the meantime I will start cutting my hearts that I will be using for this layout. And I have sped it up so that you don't have to see me in real time. And now I'm just going to go ahead and cut them out. And again, you'll see me with my Tim Holtz, I think those are 6 or 7 inch shears. Let's see. Oh, never mind. They're 5-inch shears. These work great for big cuts that are not too, that don't have small little intricate pieces to it. So for the hearts, it's great because I can cut them out, as you can see, pretty quick. Well, again, this is 2 times faster, so um, you get the point. So here I'm cutting my last heart, and then I will be picking out another paper that I will also cut hearts out of. Nope. Am I gonna, oh no, I'm gonna ink them first. So I'm using my Hickory Smoke, which is probably one of my favorite distress inks to use. I am more into the gray tones than the brown tones, but you are more than, you can more than happily use the tea stain or the coffee, I forgot what it's called, uh, ground espresso, the walnut stain, or you can color coordinate with your paper. That's entirely up to you and how you want to design your pages. And that's what I love about Kiwi Lane, because you can do whatever you want and use whatever you want with it. So now I'm going to be cutting out smaller heart, and I could have used the smaller one, but I just decided, for me, it was easier to use the bigger one. So this paper is pink and it has these little craft color dots. I almost got excited. I thought it was gold foil because I love gold foil, but the craft works too. So I'm going to cut these out, and the back of the paper is also really pretty. It's just black with arrows, and oh, I just can't wait to play with the rest of this kit. So while I'm cutting these out, you don't need to hear me um, tell you how I cut. I will be sewing on these, hand stitching on these hearts. I'm just using regular sewing thread and a needle, I bought a pack of needles at Hobby Lobby, and there's like 50 of them, and there's like different lengths, there's different thicknesses, there's different sharpnesses. So this is it's a thicker one, and because it's easier for me to hold while I'm trying to sew through paper, because it's kind of heavy, so it's not as easy as pushing it through. And I do make my holes in the paper with a one of those pokey tools. I have no idea what what they're really called, but it's kind of sharp and you can poke holes with it. So I just realized that if I would have done that, the hearts would have been sideways. So that's why I'm moving up to above where I had cut. I was trying to be cheap and save paper. Can't be cheap and save paper if your hearts are going to be sideways. So I am not sure if I'm not a huge sewer. I don't know the real terminology. I just kind of go with the flow. So I believe it's called chain stitching that you'll see me do. And before that, I'm going to ink my heart. And I will add a little bit of adhesive just to hold my two hearts together so that they're not slipping and sliding everywhere. And you'll see me do that in just a second. I am using a Tombow adhesive, permanent adhesive, but um, in a couple minutes I actually run out of tape. So after that I switch over to a crafter's tape by Art Tech. Okay, so there's my sewing needle, and I bought this little bobbin on Amazon, this little bobbin case, and it comes with all the colors just to keep on my desk. And because I needed bobbins, and I said, well, might as well get them with the thread, and I'll keep it on my desk instead of having to, um, you know, go into my sewing stuff to get the actual different colors if if I'm looking for a specific color. So that works awesome, and it was pretty cheap. It was probably like $10 or $11. So I'm now looking for my pokey tool. All right, so there's my pokey tool, and I'm just going to grab a piece of fun foam to use. You can use a mouse pad. I don't really, as you can tell earlier, I don't have a mouse pad. I'm not sure why, but you can just use any soft surface to poke your holes. And I'm really eyeballing it. Um, Now you'll see me, well, you probably won't see me because I can't see. So I add a little washi tape to the um, first stitch. There is a knot on it, but this way it doesn't, rip through the paper or anything like that. So, and I believe it's called a chain link when you go back and you run your thread through and then you go back through the next hole. Don't know if that's the right terminology. If you know what it's really called, feel free to leave me a comment and tell me what the right name is. I saw somebody else do it on YouTube, and I like how it looks a little thicker than your basic straight line. Um, so that is why I decided to do it on these hearts. And I'm only doing on the pink. Um, so yeah, and I don't think I'll even show you while I sew all the other ones because I figured you really don't need to see me do this 4 times. I noticed that I did not do that fancy stitch, so I'm just running it through the first one again. And now I'm going to run it through, make a knot, and then add another little piece of washi tape to the back. So you can see the stitching there. There you go. Sorry about that. I record on my iPad. So now I'm going to show you how I create my mixed media background. I'm just going to place my hearts, trying to figure out how I'm going to place my pictures. And I will just use the Distress Oxides and add water to them and right onto my pad. And I'm just going to pick up the paint or the watered down Distress Oxide. That is actually the plastic baggies that the templates come in. I actually save them and I use this for this technique. It gives it a very interesting splattered look without making it look too, you know, perfect. In other words, messy look. So I am using few different colors. I'm using Worn Lipstick, Mermaid Lagoon, let's see what else, Bundled Sage, Tattered Rose. I'm also using the Hickory Smoke, actually no, not, yeah, the Hickory Smoke Distress. And I think that's it as far as my Distress Oxides. And right now you're probably looking at it and saying, oh my goodness, what is she doing? But you will see how it all comes together in the end. So I'm mixing my two pinks, the Worn Lipstick and the, I forgot what that one was called, Tattered Rose, to give it a little deeper color, deeper pink color. And now I just use my roll of paper towels and just picked up some of the extra moisture. I splattered some water on it, and I'm doing that again just so that it lightens up some of the color. Wherever the water hit, it usually picks up the color. I am going to cut off the branding strip off of the bottom of the paper. Sorry about my head getting in the way. So I actually decided to flip it over. I'm left-handed, so I tend to do everything left-handed or to the left side. This is my very good friend's daughter, and I made her that t-shirt for a program that she was having at school, and she needed to be an animal, so I made her a zebra, and that was when she saw the shirt. She was very, very excited about it. So I will be using some of these 3x4 cards to back my pictures. And I'm so sorry for the glare. I have to figure out, I'm in a new craft space in my house, and I'm still trying to figure out the lighting, and it is definitely a work in progress, so bear with me. I also get some really weird shadows above me or from my camera above me. So, so if you have any good suggestions, I have everything, tank lighting, I have everything going on in here in this very small space, and it's just kind of weird. All right, so I'm just kind of haphazardly putting the pictures on the paper. I want them to kind of not be totally straight behind them so that they kind of poke out a little bit. And now I'm just going to look for, I was thinking, oh, I really want to line this paper with something, like do a frame. So, okay, so yeah, so I really want to use a frame for the back of this paper, and it'll take me a minute to just, I'm going to slice off about 1/4 inch on all 4 sides, just so that it'll create a frame. And now I just cut out the middle of this paper because I really want to use this paper, and I didn't want to just, you know, it's only going to show 1/4 inch on each edge. So now I'm going to use my ATG to adhere it to my cut out frame. That's a great way to stretch paper if you need to stretch it. I am not really good at putting things straight when I'm not standing over it, so I do apologize. Okay, so here we go. I'm now starting to place everything and just trying to figure out how I want everything to go. And in the end, I decide to do a vertical, have the hearts vertical, and kind of almost like that. So I wanted to add the mailbox, and I'm just trying to figure out, where am I going to put it? Yep, right there. So now I'm going to cut out from this black and gold polka dot paper my mailbox. So bear with me on that. And now I'm just, from this pink card, I'm just going to cut out the lid to the mailbox. And I'm just trying to figure out how to make my mailbox look more 3D, even though you don't end up seeing uh, the pole. It will be hidden, but since I didn't know where it was going, I figured I would cut that piece and stick it on to give it a little dimension. So I ended up cutting the piece. I don't end up using it. Instead, I'm using a marker, and I will go back and use a gold marker to do the lines. And here I'm just trying to figure out where my little mailbox lid goes. And it's really cute. It has little hearts on it, so it kind of looks like the red, but just pink with white little hearts. Now I'm going to cut out my little flag thingy from the same pink paper. And I will also go ahead and ink that so it gives it a little dimension. And I'm just going to pop it up with some pop dots and stick it on. So here's where I take my gold marker and I'm going to draw my line. And I'm also going to make it a little thicker so that it's a little noticeable, as well as around the pink of my mailbox. So that's actually where it's going to end up, and that's why I said you can't really see the pole. So that's where I run out of tape. So now I'm going to adhere everything down. And just a little word of advice, I'm using the tape runner, but I do go back in and use wet adhesive. Whenever you use any type of mixed media and you use gesso, for whatever reason, adhesive does not like to stick. So you want to make sure that you use a liquid adhesive, like either the Scotch liquid adhesive, or I personally like the Art Glitter Glue. It's a great adhesive. It dries quickly. I am popping up some of the edges of the hearts, and as you can see, I'm going to glue down, and I'm using my adhesive, as you can see, my wet adhesive, to stick everything down. I also like to use, instead of using foam dots, like for something as big as the heart, I do use the Fun Foam, and it helps create a like a larger surface so that it doesn't get crushed. Sometimes I don't really love the pop dots because I feel like they're too small and they don't give the stability that I like. So I really like this You Make My Heart Happy. I tell her that all the time because she's such a sweet little girl, and she's always, she loves when I make stuff for her, and I always tell her, you know what, you make my heart happy. Thank you, because she always calls me to thank me, and you know, for a 5-year-old, or maybe she's 6. She is a very sweet old soul. So as you can see, I'm cutting some of these cards out, and I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to place them. And I kind of like, I'm using one that says handmade with heart, and one that I said I love you lots. So I am using the, ooh, I forgot I used that. I believe that's notations, and that's 5T, and I'm just using the little, cutting out the little fish tails. That's what I call it, banner tails, um, just so that it looks a little more fancy. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. So out of this card, I'm going to cut the little pieces of envelopes, not pieces. I was going to say pieces of mail, but they're really envelopes. And I'm just going to cut all 3 of them out, and I'm going to add them to my layout there. And I will be using pop dots, I believe, to so yeah, so I will be using some pop dots to pop them up. And this third one actually is going to end up on the other side next to that "You Make My Heart," or actually below the "You Make My Heart Happy" sentiment. So as I finish this layout, I just want to mention that I will be doing a giveaway at 500 when I get to 500 subscribers. I'm so excited that my subscribers are slowly growing, and at 500 I will do a $50 Kiwi Lane gift certificate to shop at my shop. You can buy whatever you'd like. If you want to talk to me about it, and maybe I can help you, guide you in the right direction, that's great. I will be more than happy to help you. But you have to subscribe, and I will have once I reach 500, I will have a video announcing the giveaway, which you will have to comment, like and subscribe to my blog, as well as my YouTube channel. So here I am just using some of the Distress Oxides to make splatters, and I like using this fan brush because it does very small, tiny little splatters. So I'm doing all the pink, the blue, all those colors, just to kind of not leave it so white and blank. And I will also use a little bit of the hickory smoke to tie in the black in the mailbox. And I figured the black worked because my pictures are black and white. Lily's wearing, black pants, and her sleeves are black. So that's why I figured it all worked, and it draws your eye across the page from the mailbox across to the pictures. So I'm almost done with this layout. Make sure you like and subscribe. I will be putting a link up to my subscription. I will also link you to 2 of my other past Kiwi Lane layouts. Make sure you like them. If you want to leave comments, that's awesome. I love comments. I love any suggestions anyone makes. If you want to see anything specific, please feel free to leave me a comment, or you can always direct message me, and I will try my best to show you what you want to see. So I am using, I believe these are stickers, and are by Paige Evans, if I'm not mistaken. I absolutely love these. I love the size. I won't tell my husband, but I bought like 4 packs because I'm afraid of running out of them. Because who really needs that many alphabets? And there's so many. There's like, I don't know, 7 or like, there's like the vowels have a bunch of them, like 7 or 8 of them, and the consonants, they have like 4 or 5 of each letter. So I'm going to title this Happy Heart, and it will actually hashtag Happy Heart. And stay tuned, and I'm going to show you some close-ups. Oh, wait, I'm going to add some little hearts, which this pink was perfect. It doesn't look perfect. It looks really pink on here, but it works. And some of the blue ones as well. So we're just about done. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you watch to the end. I will have close-ups of my layouts. I also just want to disclose that Kiwi Lane did not sponsor this prize pack that I'm offering. This is totally me. And have a great day.